Hello everybody and welcome back to Screen Stars. I'm here today to bring you my review for Marvel's Spider-Man on the PlayStation 4 and only exclusively on the PlayStation 4 this game. Now then, this is easily one of the most anticipated games of the year. This has been much hyped over the last few years. The footage we've seen has got us all very excited, and now we've finally been able to get our hands on the game as of the 7th of September, and I'm ready to give you my 2 pennies worth on this game. Is it really deserving of all the great reviews that people are giving it right now? Well, right off the bat guys, wholeheartedly, absolutely it is. And this is coming from someone who's been playing Spider-Man games since the PlayStation 1. As far back as I go with the Spider-Man games, and I've played the majority of them ever since. Yes, Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 3, all of them. Some of them, some really fantastic Spider-Man games mixed in there, especially Spider-Man 2. So this has some big shoes to fill, but I think it's fair to say that over the years this franchise and this superhero character has had a few duds as well. So even though we were widely excited for this game, I think a little bit reserved too. But I'm here to tell you guys, this game is absolutely brilliant. I cannot emphasize enough how great this game is. Everything about this game for me just makes you feel like Spider-Man. It is designed by Insomniac. Have designed a game here that is clearly made with a lot of passion and a lot of love for the character of Spider-Man. Straight off the bat guys, the web slinging around the city is done to perfection. They haven't made it overly complicated. The physics aren't exact, but yes, you have to attach to a building. All that kind of stuff makes sense, but it's so easy to pick up and play. You'll be swinging from buildings to buildings in no time at all guys. It is easy to pick up, easy to play, easy to get into the swinging, and you can upgrade it as well and do all these cool tricks as the game goes on. It's fabulous. The combat is, a lot of people have been comparing it to Arkham. Well, it actually works better in this game because of basically the spider sense. It never really worked for me in the Arkham. Batman never had spider sense, so how did he know when to counter all the time? Well, Spider-Man's got spider sense. It makes far more sense in this game. The combat is slick, fast, and if you don't mix it up and use all your abilities, all your gadgets, all your webbing powers, if you don't mix it up, because you go up against a lot of enemies quite a lot of the time, you're going to die, because it doesn't actually take that many hits from a couple of hits from a few bullets, a couple of hits from a couple of the big thugs, etc., and you're down. So the combat is really rewarding, but ultimately actually quite challenging at times. So it ticks all the boxes. So straight off the bat guys, the swinging, brilliant. The combat, absolutely brilliant. I've got no complaints with either of them. You've got a multitude of spider gadgets that you can unlock and upgrade as the game goes on. Really cool gadgets. You've got all the suits. There's 27 in total to unlock in the base game, and there will be more released with the DLC. All the suits are really cool, really fantastic. You have to craft the suits by stopping crimes and taking pictures of landmarks and doing research missions. So you actually have to craft the suits, and you can have to craft the upgrades for all the gadgets and things like that. So it makes everything that you do in the game mean something. It's not just fetch quests, it's not just collecting for the sake of collecting. Everything you do has meaning in this game. So yes, you could argue that some of the things do feel a bit menial at times or a bit repetitive, but it's still fun. Collecting the backpacks is fun, not only because it's going to help you craft and upgrade suits and gadgets, but also it has little snippets of Spider-Man's past history and a little talk over by Peter Parker, Spider-Man. When you collect these things, it's really cool. Same with taking the landmark, the pictures, again it helps you, but also it's really cool. there's just so much in this game. Everything you do in this game has a meaning, really. It's not just done for just to make you do something, just filler. Everything feels like it has a meaning, which I think goes a long way, I think, in a game like this. So for me, I've not been and did not get bored with any of the open world activities. Some of the research missions got a little bit frustrating occasionally, but not to the point where, you know, you was having a rant and a rage quit, chucking controllers across the room. It just, some of them were challenging, and that's a good thing. The story, what do I think of the story? Well, I actually think the story is really, really good. I think it is done brilliantly. You have to balance your life between Peter Parker and Spider-Man, and that's always been the attractive thing about Spider-Man, the fact that he's just a kid in a costume. And in the story, he's been doing this for 8 years now. He's a veteran when it comes to being a superhero, but he's still learning how to get on in life. He helps out at this voluntary centre for the homeless, which is where his Aunt May works. He's working as a scientist, as another job, trying to do good in the world. But all in the while, he's not able to pay his bills and stuff. So it starts off like that. You're trying to balance your life. You're trying to build a relationship back with MJ again, who's also in this game, and you get to play as MJ in this game as well, in some pretty well designed levels that actually break up the game nicely. I'm not a fan of stealth games as a rule. And generally speaking, most of the levels you play as MJ are kind of stealth missions, but they're not too long and they're not too difficult, and so it actually breaks up the gameplay pretty well, I would suggest. And then so you've got all these normal rogues galleries of Spider-Man. You know, you've got your Shocker and your Vultures and Kingpin and all the others, but the main antagonist in this game is Mr. Negative, the one you've seen in all the trailers. And to be honest, guys, even though it does get a little bit predictable at times, stories, I can't fault the story. I really enjoyed it. And in between the story, you've got some side missions, some really fun side missions. Some of them are really fun, and I didn't mind any of the missions at all. There was nothing that, you know, I rolled my eyes at and got a bit fed up of. For me, guys, the story worked. I've heard a couple of people say some negative things about the story, but I liked it, I'll be honest, guys. And I enjoyed the side missions. I enjoyed all the citywide activities. Yeah, it does get a bit Assassin's Creedy when you've got to unlock all these towers, but the way they do that as well, I think, makes a little bit of sense in the game. And it does kind of work, and it doesn't feel too much of a chore to do it. So basically, I have very, very few complaints with this game, guys. I'm really, really struggling to think of any. I'm having a ball with this game. I really, really am. It is really, really a lot of fun to play, and surely that's what gaming's all about. It really is. I'm really looking forward to all the DLC when that comes out. That'll, like, you know, give us extra suits and extra chapters to play, all that kind of stuff. Doesn't seem overly expensive either, you know, to buy them and play them, so I'm okay with that as well. So basically, guys, what I'm saying to you is this game is an absolute must. It's, for me, right up there as my favourite games of the year, and right up there with as my favourite superhero game of all time. They've made very, very few missteps here, I think, Insomniac. They've delivered a high quality game that looks outstanding. I know there was a bit of controversy before this game's release in regards to Puddlegate and all that kind of stuff. Utter twaddle, guys. I'm playing this on a PlayStation Pro, and it looks outstanding. It's easily one of the prettiest, most beautiful games I've ever played on the PlayStation or the PlayStation Pro. And there's some really beautiful games out there. God of War, Uncharted 4. There's so many outstanding looking games. Detroit Become Human, and this is easily right up there with them, which is hard to do for an open world game because there's so much to add into the game, but they've managed to do it. They really have managed to do and create an outstanding, beautiful game. The suits are all cool. If you're a fan of Marvel and you're a fan of Spider-Man, you're going to get a kick out of unlocking all the suits. There's some really iconic ones, some really fun ones. Each suit comes with its own ability that you can swap and change between any suit. To be honest, I quite like the one that you get very early on, which is, you know, the jumping up and spinning. I think it's actually the ability to get straight away with this first suit you've got on. It's my favourite ability. So it allows you, it's flexible, it allows you, if you find a suit that you really like and want to continue wearing, but you like an ability in another suit, you can just swap and change as and when you please. It really, really helps. Everything, they want you to enjoy this game the way you want to enjoy it. So for me, guys, this game, it's almost perfection in regards to what this game gives you. If you're a fan of Marvel, you're a fan of Spider-Man, and you've got a PlayStation, you must buy this game. It's a 9.2 out of 10. Almost flawless in my opinion, this game. Almost flawless. I've come across very few bugs here in this game. In fact, none to speak of. A couple of times I got trapped in, you know, fire escapes, things like that, but I've not had to restart the game. I've had no crashes. It runs smooth as silk, no problems. So basically, guys, this is me saying you need to buy this game if you haven't already. If you're still on the fence about it and you're not sure, trust me, guys, this is a buy. So I hope you enjoyed this review, guys. I hope you found it useful. Don't forget to click that like button, and thank you very much for watching.